flight control. So this is the control tower for the USS Midway. My name's Chuck. I'll be your docent today to give you your island tour. My background, I'm a retired Navy captain and naval aviator. We're going to take a real quick tour of the flight deck. Up forward, I have two high temperature, high pressure steam catapults. And my number two cat, that's the one on the left. I have an A7 Corsair aircraft that we're just about ready to launch. Off the angle, that's my 680-foot long runway. Follow that yellow and white dashed line, which is the center line of our runway, aft about 400 feet. I have an F4 Phantom back here that just trapped on the number 2 wire. That was our target wire. But we're not going to talk about the mechanics of launching and recovering aircraft because we have talks on the flight deck that will also cover that. So we'll focus more on the people that were up here. So starting out, I have a chair over here marked Boss. That is not reserved for the rock star. That is reserved for the Air Boss, the Air Operations Officer, Post Command Tailhook Squadron Commander, either a pilot or a naval flight officer. A lot of carrier experience. Over to the right, we have a chair marked Mini. That is not an endorsement for Disneyland. That is the Mini Boss. Same background, same qualifications, in training 1 year. After that year, he just slides over 2 feet, assumes the responsibility of the Air Boss. So it ends up being about a 2-year tour. So you probably figured the Air Boss has a big job. So in addition to having a responsibility for both the launch and recovery of aircraft, he also has a responsibility for the movement of aircraft, both on the flight deck as well as the hangar decks. That's an F-18 that's just taking off over in North Island. Now, the Air Boss, because during flight operations, we'd have up to 250 personnel on the flight deck. It was extremely hazardous. Safety was absolutely paramount. So if you're on the flight deck, you were actually trained to do a very specific job. And the way we determined who did what was the colored jersey that you wore. As an example, if you fueled and defueled aircraft, you'd wear a purple jersey. Everybody in the Navy has a nickname. Our purple shirts are called the Grapes. That's their nickname. Air Boss also had responsibility for the immediate airspace over the carrier as well. I have a plexiglass board in the room. That's our land launch status board. Ordinarily it'd be swung out. I'd have a petty officer standing behind that board with a grease pencil writing backwards. The Navy does not train you to write backwards. That's on-the-job training. So over the 47-year operational history of the Midway, we just have a small sample list of aircrew pilots that were either killed in action, missing in action, or prisoners of war. We have aircraft side numbers, mission profiles, etc. on the board. Along the windows, I have several stand-up desks. Because when your squadron was flying, you'd have a squadron representative up here. Typically a junior officer, either a pilot or a naval flight officer, and they really function as subject matter experts. Because inside those desks, you can lift up the lids, would be the NATOPS manual. It's kind of like your automobile owner's manual, but it would have emergency procedures, specifications, etc. So if your tail hook didn't drop, the Air Boss would consult with the squadron representative. They'd try to come up with a corrective course of action. But this was a really busy place up here, so conversations were absolutely kept to a minimum. Those squadron representatives, they also had a nickname. They were called the Tower Flowers. That's what we call them. Up forward here, to my right, this is the arresting gear monitor panel. We have 3 wires or cross-deck pennants. The tail hook will engage one of those wires, and that's what stops the aircraft. Now, the resistance tension of those wires has to be set to the max trap weight for the type of aircraft coming in. To show you that this is an analog carrier, not a digital carrier. This red placard right here, this is the gauge. Left-hand column, type of aircraft, right-hand column. Maximum trap weight before the Air Boss would give a green deck for landing. Then finally, over here, this is the meatball. This is the Fresnel lens optical landing system. Sets the glide slope typically about 3.5 degrees. So what did it take to have a successful landing on the Midway? You just had to do a couple of things. Fly the meatball, fly the donut, follow line up, angle attack. Piece of cake, right? So from here we're going to go down to the chart house. We'll meet the navigator. We'll have a pop quiz on celestial navigation. If you do not pass, you have to zip line down to the pier. So let's stay together as a group, and nobody will get lost, including me.
Ladder primary, we are ready for the next group.
Why'd you do that?